we're going to do a light spray, just so you guys can see what I mean. Okay, so you got to spray the top, the bottom, the back. Don't forget all in here, okay? Ankle tapes need to come up to just about the musculotendinous junction, okay, where tendon becomes muscle. So that's really technically how high we need to be. Now, some athletes are not going to let you go that high because they're like, I want it short and tight and don't go up that high. But your basketball players, your football players, your bigger sports like that, they're going to need you to come up that high, okay? So we're going to practice it like that. So what I need you to do next is you're going to then put on your heel and lace pad, okay? So we've got pads, which have a little bit of the lube that we put. It's a small dollop, okay? If you go big, you're going to goo up all the whole foot, and these are going to move around. So it's a small dollop. They're called heel and lace pads because they go where the laces are and where the heel is, okay? Those are the most tight areas where we're going to put a ton of tape that we can create cuts. So if I can put some protection there, we're good to go, okay? And then I try to stick it down a little bit. Remember, I didn't do a heavy, heavy spray, so you're going to see those come up. But that's why you want, because as you're going, when you're learning, you do not want to be fighting with the heel and lace pads. So from there, we're going to take our pre-wrap. We're going to start at the base of the foot, covering about 50% of that heel and lace pad. And now I'm going to take a spiraling effect up the leg, okay, and then off. Now, that's the way it should look. I covered everything. I overlapped it about 50%. I spiraled it up there, okay? If you pull too much, you're going to start rolling up there, okay? It's going to roll on you. It's going to move and roll. So this is very important that you pull just enough, but don't not pull, because then it's going to look like that, okay? I need to see it up against the skin so it hugs it. Some of you guys are going to go around, and then you might come up here and then come back down. It's okay to break it up and to sort of go above and below, as long as you don't put excessive amounts, because you don't want a ton of this stuff. This is just that base layer, okay? All right, so from there, they usually will get tired, so I kind of come in and support them here. We're going to do what we call the anchor. The anchor needs to go on. See how I pull still here? 50% on the skin and 50% on that pre-wrap. I'm going to come again and do another one. 50%. I'm pulling as I go around. This is how we're going to hold the tape. Middle finger should come through, thumb should be here, first finger should be free to rip. Okay, so this is how we're going to start to do it. But you see how I came under? I didn't come here and go around, because if I do that, I just rotated his tibia. Okay, so I don't want to do that. I don't want to pull him out of alignment. I want to get used to coming under, place it where I see it. You see how my fingers are ready to accept the piece of tape? I get here and I lay it down. So you'll use 2 anchors right here, 2 of them. Hold it up. From medial to lateral, we're going to do our stirrups. We're going to use our anchors, come down the malleoli to the back side of the Achilles, and then I'm going to come up. Now watch how I rip this. I go under, and then I lay it down. Do you see how I didn't put it down and then come over here and rip it? Because we're about efficiency. I want you to get used to not having to put tape down. We're going to overlap it again. It can be in the exact same area. It can be in a slightly different area. And then once that second piece is there, I'm going to re-anchor those stirrups so that they stay, and I don't have to worry about them coming up now. Okay? What I see you guys do wrong is that you come too far into the arch. That is a tape cut waiting to happen. So you've got to think malleolar line back here. It's just to keep the stability here. Now I could add more stirrups if I need, which we'll do next week, and I'll create what are called outsiders. Okay, so let's just do standard today. Straight up, 2 stirrups, re-anchor. Then from there we're going to start our figure 8. We're going to start from the medial border here, and you're going to create an angle like that. It's kind of perpendicular to the malleoli. You see it? This is where angles are going to come in. You guys are going to struggle with angles. Okay, so I'm just giving you a landmark. It's kind of, if you extended it, it would be perpendicular to your malleoli. Okay, I'm going to come around. I'm now going to switch hands. Okay, I'm switching hands. I'm pulling up across the talus. I'm coming behind it. I'm switching hands. You see it? I come back across the talus, finishing where I started. It's like I created an X right here. Okay? Did you guys see that? So there is your figure 8. Here's your heel lock. We're going to do a lateral heel lock and a medial heel lock. So on the top of the leg, the dorsum, at the distal tibia, I create an X. I go behind the Achilles, then dive under the foot, then up around. Now I'm going to push. Look, I'm crossing where I was just to come back behind to finish and cross. You see how I just filled that hole in? And I crossed where I started. Are we okay? So now I'm going to go again. Medially. Same angle. It's not this. It's not this. It's that. It's an X. Okay? Aim to the malleoli. Dive behind it. Get into the Achilles. You see why we put that heel and lace pad there? Come up. You see how I'm pulling? Look at the tape. Look how I'm pulling it. Across the front, I dive. Look how I'm pulling the tape. You see it? And I finish the X. Okay? So now we're going to finish this tape. We have now pretty much locked it in. Now I've got to close all this up. So now here come our C-strips. I come from behind. I bisect the calcaneus and I come up onto the foot. You see how those didn't touch? That's okay. They shouldn't touch yet. 50% overlap. Watch what we're going to do. See how I'm filling in the foot now? 50% overlap. Pull. Don't give up any of that tension. Now I'm going to start to shape the leg. You see how it was kind of coming at me? The tibia now is going to go up the angle. So now the angle starts to change. You see how I just like went up on that angle? Here's another one. I'm going up now. Now I got to fill in those anchor strips that are up there to clean it up. You see how now I'm kind of going this way. I started here, and then I kind of closed them here, and then all of a sudden I'm going up. That's following the body angle. Okay? Keep it up. We got one to go. Another figure 8 to finish it. Come around. Pull across the front. Behind. Finish where I started. Okay? The ankle tape is now solidified. We just have to cover this in. On the dorsum of the foot, not really wrapping around all the way to touch. They don't have to, but they can. We're going to fill it in. Okay? We're going to put 2 or 3 strips just to kind of cover the mess. These do not get put down hard or heavy because it's just there to cover. The ankle tape was now done. Okay, but he's got to put his sock on and his shoe, and I don't want those pieces raveling up. so that then he rubs and he creates a blister or tape cut on top of his foot. So we smooth it out. Okay? Good. Thank you.